will work in the medium term. And then I hope that Clive and others, as they did with Right to Buy, which they passionately opposed originally, will come to see that we're on the right lines.
Do you think that some future Conservative housing minister may yet reap the political whirlwind you've sown?
Yes.
Not if we get it right, no. And I would remind you again, the comparisons with 56 are very distant because there was no housing benefit at all then.
So you're not afraid that you're treading dangerous waters?
Any change is dangerous, and this country is expert at saying, well, let's sit quietly on the Titanic and sink, because it's much more dangerous than getting into the lifeboat. But I think sometimes you have to change things.
Mr. Waldegrave, thank you. Well, that's all from This Week, Next Week. For this week, we'll be back at the same time next week at 1 o'clock on BBC One. I hope you'll join us then. Meanwhile, from all of us on the team, goodbye.
A reminder that coverage of the CBI Conference begins here on BBC One tomorrow morning at 9:20 with the opening session and the first address by the new Director General, John Banham. Then tomorrow evening, Panorama will be looking at the government's plans to revolutionise the education system, as John Ware talks to the architects of the policy that Mrs Thatcher hopes will lead to a class revolution. Panorama at 9:30 tomorrow evening.
Every day during the last week, we've been at the London Zoo live for Zoo Week. We've been looking behind the scenes at this, the oldest and best-known zoo in Britain. We've been taking a close and rather searching look at the workings of the zoo, following a number of themes: feeding, entertainment and education, hospitalisation, and a look to the future.
And Zoowatch is this afternoon at 5 o'clock on BBC One.
Over on BBC Two now, there's Rugby Special. And here on One in an hour, Jimmy Hill will be introducing Match of the Day Live, featuring the Merseyside derby between Liverpool and Everton. The programme kicks off at 3 o'clock. And between now and then on BBC One, we've the omnibus edition of EastEnders.